morning everyone, myself Hetvi Bhuva and I am from Fybpt. Today we are going to learn about the schools of psychology. How schools of psychology has been invented. Introduction. Earlier, before many centuries ago, normal ideas about the behavior and mind in Western culture began with the classical ideas of a Greek philosopher and have continued to this day as a part of a fabric of philosophy. Psychology is a separate area of a study split away from philosophy a little over 100 years ago. In 1879, the first psychological laboratory was established at the University of Leipzig by the German philosopher psychologist William Wundt, which was born on 1832 and died 1920. James Wundt and other psychologists of that time thought of psychology as the study of a mind, while we describe about the physiology is the study of a behavior. So at the earlier centuries, many scientists decided to give philosophy and psychology as a different part, as a different name. The spirit of psychology as a new separate field is developed in the 1890 by a book of a famous scientist James Wundt. His book name is Principle of a Psychology. James Wundt and the other psychologists decided of a same thought what to study in the psychology. They did experiment to find the law of a releasing event and to see the person's mental experience. In first decade of the 20th century, psychology came to hold with a different views about the nature of a mind of a person and best way to study about it. After that, at the same time, fundamental questions were raised about the psychology. Should the psychology be the study of a mind? Should it be about a behavior, or should it be about a both mind and behavior is included in it? Schools of thought were formed on this thought as what psychology should be. These schools of thought were known as a school of psychology. So now, structuralism. This early school of psychology grew up with the idea of William Wundt in Germany and was established at a Cornell University of the United States by one of his Wundt's student, Edward B. 1867 to 1927. The goal of the structuralists was to find out the unit and the element which makes up the mind. They thought that, as in the chemistry, a first step in the study of a mind should be description of the basic or the element or the unit of a sensation, image, emotion which compose for it. The main method used by structuralists to discover the elementary unit of a mind was introspection. For example, be present with a colored light, a tone or an order and ask to describe as minutely as possible. So now, Gestalt psychology. The school of psychology was founded in Germany in 1912 by Max Wertham and his colleague Kurt Koffer and Wolfgang Kohlheim. The point made up by Gestalt psychology in the opposition of structuralism was that mental experience depends on the patterning and organization of the element. Now, what do you mean by Gestalt? Gestalt means a form or a configuration. It states that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Mental experience depend on the organization and the pattern of elements and not on the individual elements. It focuses on the how mind or body organize sensory information into meaningful winds or a whole. So now, functionalism. Functionalists such as John Dewey, James Arrington and Harvey Carr at the University of Chicago proposed that psychology should study what mind and behavior do. Specifically, they were interested in the fact that mind and behavior are adaptive. They believed that psychology should focus on how mind adapt the changing environment and how mind function on the changing environment. They enable an individual to adjust a changing environment. They believe that the mental process in an individual is about the adapt to the environment. In short, we can say that functionalism works on how mind is adapt the environment around its surrounding. So now, behaviorism. The school of psychology originated with John B. Whitson, 1879, who was at Hopkins University. He rejected the idea of a functionalist. He made psychology by the three characteristics. First, focus on observable behavior. He believed that psychology should be based on observable things that can be seen and measured. Second, emphasis on the learned behavior. He believed that psychology should be learned through experience and conditioning rather than being initiated. Third, study on an animal behavior. He believed that human behavior comprises the animal behavior, so it should be by the study of an animal behavior or the focus on the animal behavior. Initially, we can say that behaviorism focus on observer behavior, learned behavior, and the animal behavior. So, till the end of a behaviorism, it was concluded that what actually psychology should be about, and it was different from a psychiatrist. Now, psychoanalysis. It is not a part of a school of a psychology, but it has a great impact given to the other psychologists to found what actually psychology should be about. Psychoanalysis was found in Vienna, Austria by the psychiatrist Sigmund Freud, lived till 1938. It is the theory of mind and behavior. In one of his course, he lived with a patient of a neurotic patient, as there he concluded that it should be about unconscious motivation, hidden awareness or expression. So, by the 5 expressions, we have learned that what actually psychology should be about, and this is what the school of psychology is. Thank you.